They are indeed called the main naval power and the strongest army of old Europe. Perhaps they are the only European forces that have real combat experience in recent times and are ready to use it in practice.
The United Kingdom has all types armed forces.
The United Kingdom is an important and strategic partner of Ukraine, with whom Kyiv has signed a century-long mutual assistance agreement. It seems they have taken this document seriously and are already prepared not only to help us with weapons and money, but also with their own army, setting an example for all of Europe and the rest of the civilized world.
It is possible that in terms of troop deployment, Britain and France, or Britain or France, will send Grandma. We'll send their first contingents and then the rest.
Today we will thoroughly analyze how formidable the British Army is, what military contingent London can send to Ukraine, and what their soldiers will be capable of, as well as what equipment and weaponry the Royal Army possesses in great detail. All of this right now, at this very moment, in Arsenal. Discussions about sending the British to monitor the ceasefire in Ukraine have been ongoing for quite some time. There are no prerequisites for this yet, as there is nothing to control. But the preparation that is already underway clearly indicates London is ready to take this step as soon as the opportunity arises. And they have started gathering and preparing troops now, so as not to waste time when the moment comes to act.
It is extremely important for us to ensure that Russia does not have the opportunity to attack Ukraine in the future. For such conditions will persist, and we understand that such risks will be present for a long time. And in this context, developing a formula for either the country's entry into NATO or the deployment of foreign troops on Ukrainian territory, troops, weapons, forces, and means to support us.
It is worth noting that the deployment of British troops to assist Ukraine, despite all the risks, in the future, it is supported by both the population and the country's leadership.
But this also means a readiness and willingness and commitment to contribute to guaranteeing Ukraine's security guarantees by deploying our own troops on the ground if necessary. I do not say this lightly. I feel very deeply the responsibility associated with the potential threat to British military personnel.
It is worth noting that initially, Britain supported the idea of Ukraine joining NATO at all levels. And when this issue stalled, it agreed to integrate us into the global security system in its own way.
As of now, there is no decision on this obviously complex issue. It is being discussed. Other options, which essentially do not contradict. One way or another, they will still bring Ukraine closer to NATO countries in terms of defense, standards, and cooperation, and which will ensure, one could say, a common security space. Among these measures is, of course, participation to some extent in some quantity of an international contingent.
So how can the British contingent help us? Let's start with the fact that in London they have finally decided what it might be. According to Prime Minister Starmer's statement, Britain is ready to send us 10,000 of its troops. And what this is the minimum number.
The United Kingdom has all types of armed forces. All of them are undoubtedly royal, historical, renowned, and now also nuclear. The total number is constantly decreasing. And the figures are always different, but at the time of Russia's attack on Ukraine, the army had 196,453 people. In the land forces, there were 85,800 people. In the Royal Navy, there were 33,750 people. In the Royal Air Force, there were 33,150 people. And there were 43,753 auxiliary personnel.
At the same time, the overall trend of reducing the army was halted by replacing it with a new one, rearming and strengthening the forces with the latest types of weapons and equipment. Where British troops might potentially be deployed in Ukraine is not yet clear, but it can already be confidently stated that they will handle any task set before them, both at sea and on land.
In the UK, there are nearly 100 of the most fashionable self-propelled artillery systems in the world, the Swedish Archers. Also, there are 40 American MLRs M270 and 110 towed guns, and 110 towed guns, and 110 towed guns. The military air defense has all types of all the necessary classes. Portable, self-propelled, whatever you need.
The same goes for the air. It's not for nothing that the British government has indeed already announced the dispatch of 120 fighter aircrafts to patrol the Ukrainian sky.
The main aircraft is the fourth-generation multi-role fighter Typhoon. It is produced by all of Europe, but the key participant is the German Eurofighter. The Typhoon has been in service since 2003 and is supplied to England, Germany, Spain, Italy, Austria, Qatar, Kuwait, Oman, and Saudi Arabia. The Royal Air Force of the United Kingdom has the most Typhoons with 159 aircraft. In addition to them, there are American F-35s in service. The naval aviation looks unusual as it operates Augusta Westland helicopters, models 101 and 159. Their task is to sink submarines and anything else that comes their way.
Meanwhile, analysts remind us that the British Army is strong not only in terms of numbers but also in practice. Among the recent achievements of the Royal Forces, the first that comes to mind is the conflict with Argentina in 1982, where under the leadership of the Iron Lady, London performed excellently. At the same time, experts believe that the main achievement of the British is not just military power. There are still plenty of such countries in Europe, namely the absence of fear towards Russia. After all, they were indeed the first to show that military partnerships and alliances with Kiev could be formed contrary to Moscow's will. Now, they are first in line to demonstrate precisely the same in terms of troop deployment.
The contractual format was also established by Ukraine, specifically with the United Kingdom. A year ago, many other countries also signed similar agreements, setting a precedent. Accordingly, it is possible that regarding troop deployment, Britain and France, or either Britain or France, will send their first contingents, and then other countries will also be able to join.
But when talking about military security from the presence of the British in Ukraine, it should not be forgotten that this is also a crucial economic argument in favor of Kyiv.
These are not only security guarantees and stability to guarantee that when Russia does not repeat its aggressive actions, it does not use the time to freeze the war in order to accumulate resources and launch a full-scale attack again in the future. But these are also guarantees in some sense for the development of Ukraine, or the possibility to develop in Ukraine without being under constant threat from Russia. These guarantees are essential for Ukraine's future. They help ensure stability and growth.
Now it's up to the negotiations. As soon as Moscow can be persuaded to agree to a peace agreement with the unwavering presence of British troops and British support, we will obviously be able to see it firsthand. Did you like this video? Then don't forget to give it a like and be sure to subscribe to our new Arsenal channel. The link is in the description below the video.